Hello, everyone, and welcome to Witch Hollow Homesteading. I hope you can hear me okay. It is early in the morning, and I don't know if my head's getting cut off in the shot. I think it is. I should raise the camera up. One sec. Okay, I think that's better. It is early in the morning on a Saturday, and I wanted to show you what the gardens look like so far. We have had some very unusual weather this year. We had a lot of very chilly temperatures, which kind of stunted the growth of some of the plants. So some are behind a little bit, and some that like the cold are actually right on schedule and everything looks good. I'm hoping the camera does not run out of battery or the microphones run out of battery, because I didn't know I was going to film this until I woke up this morning and went, hey, I should give a garden update. So fingers crossed we make it through. I'll try to make it quick. So first thing is, this is a bed that the neighbor gave me, and it's really funny because when we were out here a couple weeks ago, Mr. Witch and I talking, we had 4 plants left. We didn't know where to put them. And as we were talking about it, the neighbor lady's like, hey, I have a bed I'm not using anymore. Do you guys want it? And we were like, yeah, absolutely. So she gave us this bed and all 4 plants fit in it. I have a, is it called a sugar plum tomato plant? Sugar something. I can't remember what it was, but they're the little tiny cherry tomatoes that are either red or yellowy orange. That's growing really, really well. I have a poblano pepper plant next to it, and then I have 2 nasturtium plants. The nasturtium is very slow this year to grow because nasturtium likes a lot of high heat, and it was only until this past week that we've actually had really warm temperatures. So it's finally had a chance to grow. And yes, when I say that, today is June 13th, so this past week is when we finally have had toasty weather. The rest of the time has been really chilly, which is why some of the plants were affected. So let's move on. We are hopping over here to the raised herb bed. Everything here is growing really well. The horehound that I've never grown before is coming in super well. I didn't know it grew up. For some reason, I thought it was going to grow like oregano or thyme, where it kind of spreads to the side, but it's growing upwards, which is really cool. I have harvested a bunch of radishes in here. There are more to harvest, and I did replant because radishes are one of my favorite things to grow because they are so easy. By the way, I don't know if you could see me on that side, sorry. Radishes are so easy to grow because you plant them in 35 days, they're ready. They don't mind the heat, they don't mind the cold. It's kind of a win-win, so I enjoy planting them. I do have to harvest some. Where's the one I saw this morning? Yeah. I'll harvest this one so you guys can see it. See? Cute little radish. It's adorable. So I will now plant another radish seed in there. On the side here to my right, this is all wild growing clover. What had happened was about 3 years ago, a clover plant, if I could talk this morning, that would be great. Still tired. A clover plant appeared here about 3 years ago, and I thought, ooh, red clover. I'm not going to harvest any, and I'm going to see what happens. So I let it go, and this is year 3, and it has taken over half of this section, which is great because the rest of it is oregano, peppermint, and lemon balm that has been growing for 4 or 5 years. I will harvest more of these, and it's nice. Every day I come out and I harvest some red clover, take it inside, dry it out, and then I can use it for teas. The other 2 pots that are kind of in front of the camera that you can't see, one is my 3rd year of echinacea, and the other one is my rosemary and petunias. Nothing super exciting about those, so let's hop over to the potato bed. This is last year's tomato bed that's now a potato bed. It is doing really good. The potatoes on this side that are taller, these are all the ones that did not get hit with frost. earlier in the season. The ones on the other side that are a little shorter, they're the ones that got hit with frost, but they are coming back. They're just a week or so behind these, and that's okay. Everything's coming in really well. Some of them are starting to get flowers on them, and the flowers that are coming in are really interesting. So this is the first year, as I had mentioned, I planted russet potatoes, which I have planted now for 4 years, and then I tried a masquerade potato, which the skin is striped yellow and striped purple. And then I tried a purple potato. Can't think of the name of it. I'll put it on the screen. And interestingly, I can tell the plants apart because the yellow and purple skinned potatoes, their flowers are. Oh, sorry, bee. Didn't mean to upset you. Don't want to upset the bees. The flowers are a little white with a tiny bit of purple. The potato plants that are the solid purple potatoes, their flowers are a dark purple, and their stems are also tinged purple. And then the russets all have white flowers with green stems. So this is very interesting. I'm excited to see how these grow. I have been fertilizing regularly, so we're going to see. I'm hoping by end of July, beginning of August, we'll be ready to harvest. Let's hop over now to our other bed. So this bed is a little bit of a mixture here. The cucumber plants are coming in very slowly, and that's because it has been so cold that I planted them really late compared to normal because I knew they weren't going to be happy with our chilly temperatures. Our lows at night were still 40, sometimes 36 degrees, and I just knew they wouldn't do well. So they are a little behind, but they are coming in nicely with the warm temperatures. I have a whole bunch of radishes mixed in here, which again, I need to harvest a bunch and replant. I have a marigold for pest control. I have some beautiful arugula coming in, which I love growing arugula. I like to chop it up and put it in olive oil in trays in the freezer, freeze it, and then in the winter I have it to use to make pestos or make soups or broths. It's really nice. I have a yarrow in here. I also have some calendula coming in, and I have a lemon boy tomato plant. That one is behind compared to the other tomato plant because this one, when I got it, was very short, it was very tiny, and it's not a fan of the chillier temperatures. So now that it's warmer, it is starting to grow really well. That's everything back here. Now let's move out front. Okay, so I did take some B-roll, so I'll put that in here now, of the vertical gardens. They're doing really well. No complaints. Everything's happy. Looking good. These are our purple sugar snap peas. First year ever growing them. And they are really thriving. What I found is that these sugar snap peas loved the cold temperatures. That did not stunt their growth at all. They were so happy. And that's really handy. I might go with those again in the future just because I don't have to worry about planting them when there's still freezing temps at night. And these actually lived through 3 heavy frosts and loved it and were never touched. So really, really happy with those. On the opposite side are the other sugar snap peas. They are much shorter, the plants, and they did not like the cold temperatures. It did say to plant them when it was still chilly outside, but they really struggled to kind of get off the ground and grow properly. And they've only grown really well in the last 2 weeks because it's been a little bit warmer. And especially this week, they grew a bunch and now they have white flowers on them, so they're ready to start producing sugar snap peas. But for future use for me, I will definitely go with these purple tall ones. I do understand that because they grow so tall, that this might not be an option for everybody because you have to have a pretty sturdy trellis. But if you have a trellis and you can, highly recommend these because they are cold resistant. Let's move on down the line. We're going to talk about 2 beds in one here. So, sorry, this first bed, this is my second year sage plants, which I have never had sage get so big and beautiful. I am going to have to come in here and cut some of these flowers though, which I did already cut some last week, and they just keep growing, but I am happy to let them grow, except that they are leaning over onto the cattle beans, and that I absolutely do not want. So I am going to come in here and trim some of these just so they're not laying down. The cattle beans are looking really good. They're coming in nicely, and I will say that their germination rate on the cattle beans were really quite impressive. I sometimes when you plant seeds, it'll say to plant a lot of them and they don't germinate super well. These definitely germinated really, really well. I planted 25 on one side, 25 on the other, and then I pulled 5 on each. No, I might have planted more. I'm sorry. I might have planted more. Either way, we're left with 20 on each side. And they're doing really good. I'm very excited to see how they turn out. This sage, oh, sage is amazing. Oh, I love it so much. I'm going to have to come and cut a bunch of flowers. These flowers are edible, so you can put them on salads, or you can freeze them and put them in ice cube trays, anything like that. I think I might freeze mine, but if I dried them, they would look kind of pretty too for tea. We'll see. We'll see what I decide to do. The bed over here on my left, this is the carrot bed. This one was pretty slow to get off the ground as well because it was so cold. Carrots don't mind cooler temperatures, but it was really, really, really cold, and they weren't super happy, but they are now pleased and doing really well. I did already thin all of the carrots, so I don't need to worry about thinning. And this sage plant is doing really well. Gosh, some of these sage leaves, I've never seen my sage leaves get this big. That's insane. It's like the length of my hand, bottom to top. So really good there. Oh, I didn't mention it, but back behind everything on this side is a targon plant. I have tried planting targon in the past and it never works for me. And this one's not dead, but it's not real happy. Might not be real happy because it's buried behind the big sage plant, but I don't know. We'll see. Me and targon don't get along. Talking about a plant not doing super well either, that would be our pepper plants. It was too cold to put pepper plants outside, and I did it anyway. And ever since then, they're not very happy. They're starting to grow, and they're a bit sluggish. The only pepper plant that is doing okay is the one in the back that's planted next to the tomato plant because it was up against the house. The tomato plant and the nasturtium were kind of keeping it warmer. So that one is okay, but the ones out front here, we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping that they spring back to life. I've been giving them fertilizer and treating them gently. So hopefully they will come back. And now we're going to move on to the last bed. This is the last bed we're going to talk about. And this is the pole beans. I have kale down the center, and then I have potatoes on the opposite side. These are all and I have arugula in the front. Sorry about that. These are all doing really, really good. The kale is enjoying being mixed in with the potato plants, which I had read they do really good. The pole beans are doing great at climbing. I did not have any issues with those this year sprouting. I'm happy with this type of pole bean that I purchased. The one from last year seemed to have a hard time getting germinated, but these did not. Very happy with that. Out front here, same thing. In the front, I have the purple potatoes planted, and the flowers are real dark purple. And then towards the back, I have the masquerade potatoes, which are a little purple, a little golden yellow. And they're doing really good. I didn't mention this, I have hilled all the potatoes, which is great. I'm feeling really good about that. I've hilled them twice. The only ones I haven't hilled again are the potato plants that are a little shorter, and I am waiting until this week when they've grown a little more, and I'll hill them again. This potato plant in the front is growing so well that it took a shoot and sent it off to the side, and it's coming up in the middle of the arugula plants. I thought about cutting it off, and then I was like, No, what do I care? Like, let the potatoes grow in that center because the arugula is going to be ready to harvest fully and be done by the time these potato plants are done. So why not? Let's have a good time. Let's see what happens. So feeling very positive. I hope that your gardening adventure this year is going really well, and I look forward to seeing what this harvest is. Let me know in the comments if you've had a particularly cold season this spring into heading into the summer, and or let me know maybe you had a really hot spring, which I don't know. I would envy you. I think because it's been so chilly here. And this week coming is actually supposed to be pretty cool again. Down into the 50s is a low, which is good. The plants won't freak out too much about that, but highs only in the mid 60s. So it's just going to be one of those cool years. Strawberry season starts today, where I always go. I don't know if I'm going to go today to pick. It depends on other things that Mr. Witch and I are doing. But I am going to go strawberry picking, so I will film a little bit of that. And I have a new canning recipe that I am going to try out and do this year with strawberries, and I'm really excited to share that with all of you. So that will be coming in the next few weeks, and I hope this video finds you well. Happy homesteading, and I'll see you in the next video.